But one thing that sucked so hard, bro, which was my first actual, like, okay, I'd say second, because remember me and my ex-girlfriend of 2 years broke up in high school, whatever. But, like, really hurt is, like, my homie that I hung out with every day is because right after high school, you're like, bro, I'm moving. And I'm like,
But
when you moved, bro, and you moved out, and you moved to Boise for a minute, but then you moved to California, which is what I really want to talk about, bro.
yeah.
So you were out in California. I was here. Obviously, I stayed, and I went to college. And then you moved out to California, bro. First of all, how was it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was an interesting experience.
You're like, that was good, bad, good.
Yeah,
it happened.
I moved out there, and my family was supporting me when I was out there. I got a lot of nice uncles and aunts and grandmothers that lives out there, cousins and stuff, and they're good people. And they supported me throughout the whole thing, but unfortunately, I was trying to. I should have been more focused on getting a job because when I first got out there, I was completely irresponsible. I was not going after getting a job because at that point, I had zero work ethic, honestly, and I was partying so goddamn much. Dog, I was just going out and getting crazy, and it was probably like 8 months before I even got a job, honestly. And there was a period of time where I worked at a sign-in trophy shop for some distant relatives, and that was a pretty good job, and that was nice and everything. But I did definitely want to do something different. But I got into cold calling and stuff for a solar panel company, and that's when
your sales really kind of your interest.
And I was so invested in it. I was just like, look, man, I know some people can't get into stuff like that, and I definitely understand it because I'm not even entirely into it either, but I was just like, look, I'm in this. I'm going to keep YouTube and videos and stuff on how to get sales and everything, and you're supposed to cold call these people to set up an appointment to see if they want solar panels and stuff, and that's, we would work for about 4 or 5 hours in a day, right? But then within that 4 or 5 hour period, you would actually make about 300 to 500 phone calls.
Damn.
Yeah. So within about 4 or 5 hours every day, 5 days a week, you're making 300 to 500 phone calls, and I wasn't making any sales or anything, and I think it took me about 2 weeks before I made my first sale.
Really?
Yeah, I busted my ass off super hard to finally get that first sale, and then there was like about one every week or every other week for a period of time. Sometimes I would get 2 or 3. 3 was probably the most I had ever gotten, and then after and I worked there for about 3 months. So like my last month there, I say I didn't make anything. I didn't get any sales. So
crazy.
yeah, and then after that didn't fall through. I tried one other place. I worked there for about fucking like a week, and then I'm like, look, I'm not gonna make it out in California. So I'm like, all right, I got to go back because I was supposed to have been moved out already, probably months before that period of time, out of my family that I was staying with, that were very generous with letting me stay there, but unfortunately, I just could not get my grips of actually moving out because it's much harder there too. Because it's like $1,000 for a studio bedroom,
oh
right?
Gosh,
yeah,
man.
I knew people that were paying a ton of money. I had friends that would pay like $500 or $600 just to like share a room. In someone else's, in someone's trailer, like they were like, oh, we have a spare bedroom, but you can't like leave the bedroom. Yeah.
But so you went to California and you were grinding for a minute, or you were partying, you're doing all your stuff, and then you got into solar panels and stuff. But like, do you regret it? Do you regret going out to California? Do you wish you did more? Because you were in the spot like a lot of people that I talk to now, they're like, I got to go to California because I got to start there.
Right. Yeah.
And I have this idea, like, yes, I feel like there is a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, like, you have to take advantage that you have now. And even though Pocatello is Pocatello, there's still a lot more that people could take advantage of that they don't see around.
I think
there's a film director job literally in Idaho Falls, 45 minutes away for $85,000 a year.
Yeah.
Why go to California? There might be bigger opportunities and things, but that's just kind of the thing. But I wanted to ask you is going to California, do you think it was worth it? Do you think it could have been worth it?
Yeah.
What would you have done?
I think it absolutely could have been worth it a little bit more, or if I would have focused on career-wise and eventually gotten moved out. But still, at the same time, the cost of living there is so fucking astronomical. I don't know if I would have been really wanting to. If I would have probably not, honestly. Just because, I mean, it's hard to say because I did learn a lot from actually going out and getting into an environment where I'm making uh, tons of cold calls every day. I'm busting
Right.
my ass.
You
There
learn
was
some
benefits.
cells. Yeah.
There was benefits from being in that environment that I did have to like be putting pressure on myself. But I did, I don't. I wish I wouldn't have done it just because I didn't really want to take advantage of uh, my family's time that was out there necessarily. I don't think
Right.
that
They don't want to be alone on their
yeah,
bedroom forever.
living on their dollar basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish I would have just probably just not partied that much. Yeah, but I'm glad for the spot I'm in now. But I definitely think it was influenced by that. So it's hard to
Right.
say
So
because
it
it's like
definitely helped.
it was a hard period of time, especially I was like 18, right? I was
Right.
18 and drinking liquor and
Every day.
yeah, and just getting drunk and you know I was just getting wicked.
Right.
But
But you're right. It definitely it helped. It
right,
influenced you. Learn that
yeah,
sales game, and then you find jobs in sales, and you're doing these things,
yeah,
which help. It
yeah.
influences.
I mean,
So I guess it was worth it. But that was just my question: is kind of what
yeah.
if you would have done. I
I
mean, did
probably
you
could
learn
have
how to
learned.
surf?
No, I probably went to the beach like 4 times while I was
What
there.
in
Yeah,
California,
yeah,
dude?
straight up. And we weren't even that far from the beach either.
Two
I,
years you were
yeah,
there?
yep. No, about a year, I would say. I
What?
used to think it was 2 years, but then again, I don't know. Maybe it was about 2 years,
Maybe a year and a half or
2014.
something.
Yeah, something about that. Yeah,
I just
about a year
remember
and a
because you
half,
were
I would say.
gone for so long, bro. It
Yeah,
was
because I
tough.
left to Boise for like a month or two, and
And then you
then
were off, dude.
yeah, and
Because we were
then
like, oh, we'll hang out. And then by the
right.
time I was like, hey, you coming down? You're like, I'm in California now. I was like, what?
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, there was plenty of experience I had actually gained from that because afterwards of coming from an environment where you pitching a billion times,
Mm-hmm.
I came back and I was like, fine, I'm not. It's not working out here. I can't pay for a car. I can't pay for my rides. I can't pay for somewhere to live because I got to move out. I'm not gonna just keep living off my family. So
Right.
I was trying to move out, but I just couldn't afford it. So I was like, whatever. I'm going back to Idaho. Moved back in with my sister in Boise, and then it just seemed like I had like 5 or 6 interviews, and I went out and I got a couple offers and everything, and it was just
That's
like,
awesome, dude.
it was so much easier to get a job after what I had experienced because before it was like, oh man, interviews are scary, but then after going through a period of time where you're pitching so many people every single
Yeah.
day. And honestly, you would just like interviews afterwards because
Right.
it's like, oh man, I go in and then they ask me what's my biggest flaw, and I tell them that I'm too focused.
Yeah.
Like, you get so used to selling people because sales is selling yourself. Most of the time, generally, it's just
Yeah.
selling yourself. But so you get so used to that environment that was so easy to get a job. But I could not hold shit while I was in Boise.
Right.
So I would hold a job for like a month maybe, and then I'm
And
like,
then
no,
move
I'm too
on.
good for this place. I'm getting out, and then like I get a job. I just wasn't mentally there until I hit my lowest point, and then I moved back to Pocatello,
And that's when
couch
things.
surfing for a minute. Yeah.